Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Norfolk, England for round 7 of the Lotus 49 World Cup. We are getting set to go racing here at the Snetterton circuit, and you're going to get to see all of the action live on the global SimRacing channel. Hello everyone, I'm Samuel Ryman, and alongside me in the booth is Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes is our director Amjad Yamin, who's using cameras provided by the one and only Dougie Beard. Sean, the Snetterton circuit holds a special place in my heart, as it was my local track when I was growing up in England. So from someone with a less biased perspective on this track, how about you tell our viewers about this circuit?
Sam, I would certainly love to, buddy. Boy, Snetterton, beautiful facility here. Not a whole lot of it. Located in Norfolk in the UK, the Snetterton circuit was first opened in 1951. Built on a former World War II Royal Air Force base, and the United States Air Force used that airfield as well. The original circuit was constructed on those old runways and taxiways left, but the track has undergone many renovations and upgrades over the years, with the most significant changes been completed in 2011. There are 3 configurations of the Snetterton circuit available here in iRacing: the 300, the 200, and the 100 circuits. The one we're going to focus on today is the Circuit 200, and it is 2 miles in length and features 8 corners. Several of the corners on the track pay homage to famous drivers, including Hamilton, Brundle, and most recently the Montreal hairpin was renamed after Justin Wilson in honor of him from IndyCar. But the best way to get an idea of what it is to get around Snetterton is to hop on board the GSRC Lotus 49 for a lap around.
All right, we're in the GSRC Lotus 49, so let's do a lap around Snetterton. The long braking distances of this car means you're hitting the binders surprisingly early. The double apex of riches will be tricky, and you really don't want to drift out too far mid-corner. Finding traction on the power coming off is especially precarious. Then, there's not much time before you're slowing up for Wilson. This corner is a bit like a reverse of Montreal's first 2 turns. The best way to find time here is to give yourself a nice straight shot through the chicane section. Once again, grip is at a premium, and the fastest drivers will be on the bleeding edge of the tires. The backstretch will tempt a lot of people into a pass because it's so fast, but Brundle is incredibly difficult for 2 cars to go through side by side. That's because it blends into the braking for Nelson. I have no doubt a few folks will pirouette into the grass in this corner combo today. Then comes the bomb hole. The turn-in is tough to get right, and then the car is going to get light with the crest off the corner. That leads right into Coram, which is all about balancing your speed and your line. You want to make it so you can hug the car all the way to the right at the end of it and give yourself the widest line possible into Murray's. Try to get to the power as soon as you can, because now you're back onto the pit straight, where top end will have a big effect on this lap and the next one. But if you kept it together, you've now finished a lap around Snetterton.
So that is a lap around the Snetterton 200 layout. Sean mentions this track underwent a lot of renovations in 2011, but I think to keep the series classical with these Lotus 49 cars, they used the layout that many have become familiar with over the decades here at the Snetterton circuit. Let's talk about the drivers we're going to see on track today. Actually, we got several championship stand-ins to look at, which is probably good news in some ways, Sean. It means we got some championship fights going on over there, because right now, in this driver's stand-ins, Mick Claridge really has no one to fight with. A good battle for 2nd and 4th, though.
Yeah, I can't. Dudignon. Dudignon is here today, and Ove Trenegade, of course, who is on track now, Billy Bob Wright. But let's look at the Constructors' Championship here real quick. It's the UK. Claridge, Spencer really leading the way. Spencer's here. Claridge is here, of course. The United States slipping back a little bit further. Billy Bob Wright gotta get a good run here today. And Bruce Nelson is going to be on the shoulders of those 2 here today. Finland back there in 3rd. Certainly whenever they're around, a chance for them to pick things up just a bit. But you know what? Looking, well, there's Koivisto, Linnaluoto are here today. So maybe a shot in the arm for the Finns today. France has got a lot of work to do, but Well, I'll tell you what, Dugnan, awful good here. Just went to the pole provisionally here in qualifying. And then you've got Canta and RC Diacono. They're in fourth. Now, I don't see any Italians here with us today, so going to be tough for them. Let's talk about the details of the race real quick here. Round 7 this season, 12 rounds. The race distance today, 28 laps. Listen, folks, it doesn't take long to get around here. Got a bit of a sprint race on our hands today. The setup on the Lotus 49 is open. What does that mean? Well, they can chop these cars up any way they like, and I'll set them up for their comfort and the fastest way around the track. A lot of hard braking here, so set up your spring rate and your dampers. Really important on this track. Fast repairs. You run what you brought, take care of it. You don't get any opportunity with help from the pit. And the points pay all the way to 8th place here in the Lotus 49 championship. So 8 is the magic number, Sam.
Yeah, and with only 15 drivers showing up for the single split race, it's already a good indication that if you just keep your car in one piece, you might be able to pull out of today with some points. Not only that, Sean, but if you're able to keep your car on the lead lap too, because you mentioned about it being a bit of a sprint race. 28 laps is not a lot of time around here. 1 lap is not a lot of time around here. Currently our pole time, 1 minute 5 seconds. If you're about 2 or 3 seconds a lap off a pace, you will go a lap down today. So lap traffic could definitely play a role.
Absolutely, Sam, and so many places to get in trouble here. Let's just go around the track here real quick. Turn 1, Riches, you may see some side-by-side racing there, but it's such a battle for throttle management through there to get up that short straightaway to Wilson, which quite honestly is the toughest turn on the track. There's a switch back there coming out of Wilson, and so you're basically stop all the way down into 2. Bentley, the Bentley straight, not as long as one would think. As soon as you get to maximum throttle, you're back on the brakes again to slow the car getting down through Brundle. Hope you don't spin it on your way to Nelson. That 90-degree right turn, again, you've got the car practically all the way to stop to just make that turn work. And then the bomb hole, another run through where you're just managing the throttle through there, kind of feathering it through to get all the way through Quorum and then down to the next 90-degree left-hander, which is Murray's. And getting the power down out of Murray's, so important, Sam, to get that nice run up the center straight, up to the start-finish line. You get just past that start-finish line, you find yourself on the brakes again, so you can settle the car getting into Riches.
Yeah, gonna, as always with the Lotus 49, gonna be a game of trying to keep the car pointing in the right direction all race long. Nice thing, of course, as you'll be able to see from these camera angles provided by Dougie Beard, is there is a lot of runoff area here at Snetterton. So hopefully if we do see some spins, those cars will be able to get going again. Although, as I say that, we look at the section that goes under the bridge, you see the wall there on the left. Goodbye any cars out who dial in a bit too much rear brake on these open setups. I'll tell you what, Sean, we're seeing a few cars on track, but I think they've all completed their laps.
They have, Sam, and right now it's Michel Dugnan who, well, held on to that pole position with a 105.2. Just over a minute, and the track conditions today, it's a beautiful 72 degrees and clear outside. It's only 81 degrees on track, and a 105.2 is a flyer around this facility. 2/10 separates Dugnan from Ove Trengrade. 105.4 for him has him on that front row with Dugnan right now with just a minute left in qualifying. Looks like Zoko out here just getting a little extra time on the track in because he's qualifying lap netted a 9th place start for him today. So let's see the fellow countrymen there. You have Jacobson and Zoko going to start right on one row in front of each other. So them back there in 8th and 9th. And yeah, Sam, in about 30 seconds here, we'll go to grid, but I think we could take it now.
Absolutely, we can. Let's have a look at our front row. Is Michael Dudognan and Ove Trangeray. They are separated by just a tick under 0.2 of a second. Mick Claridge lined up in third ahead of the Finnish driver Tapani Linnaluto, Philip Spencer in fifth, and Billy Bob William Wright rounding out sixth place. And then Neil Camp in seventh ahead of Uwe Jacobson in eighth place. Rounding out the top 10 is Benjamin Zoko, who we saw just getting some more laps in. The driver with the same initials as him, Bruce Snelson, rounds out the top 10.
And Benjamin Zoko drives a mean C7 as well. I'll just get that in there. Richard Morin in 11th today. Hideki Koivitso qualifying 12th. Andres Bruno in 13th. Randy Ho in 14th and 15th. Don, tell me something good, has made it. Put a smile on everybody's face and joined us here from the Club West team out there in really, really early hours of the morning here getting racing with us.
Well, there are some cars for these standing starts, Sean, where it becomes a test of reaction time, if even a test at all. These cars, you really have to drive them off a line. So I always look forward to the standing starts in cars with this much power to weight ratio, for a lack of better way of explaining it. And all 15 cars are on the grid. So we are waiting for the lights with the number 2 of Dudignon about to lead them away for 28 laps of racing. And the lights are off and away they go. Here we go. Nice launch by Dudignon, but on the outside, looks like Chandray got a better launch, and he's going to have that wider lines for the first turn. They're running side by side. Dudignon going to come out on top, running third place right behind him, a track call to himself, our points leader, Mick Claridge.
Boy, and as they come down now through Wilson, watch out, side-by-side racing getting through there. Neil Kemp got a really nice break. Took it 3 wide down the front stretch and then got away in Riches into 7th, chasing Philip Spencer. Billy Bob Wright got Phil on the jump at the line, and Billy Bob finds himself fighting to stay in 5th place right now.
Up front, top 3 remain the same where they started. They're working their way through bomb hole already. And just like that, they're coming to complete the first of 28 laps. Looks like all 15 of our starters, all of them started from the grid, have had a clean opening lap.
Boy, and that trip out of Murray's, as I said, so important. We got a car ducking off into the pits already. That's the Neil Kemp off into the pit lane. Not sure what happened. Maybe jumped to start for Neil Kemp. Maybe why he got the break there so early.
Yeah, it would certainly add up, but if you're going to have something bad happen to you, might as well have it early on in the race. And remember, 8 cars in this 15-car field get points, so he only has to navigate his way through half a field to kind of make this day worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to think that was a penalty for Kemp there in the pit. It was only a 6.9-second stop. So he is back out on track, but that, of course, sets him all the way at the back. And now a full 30 seconds down from our leader, Dudignon, who's off to a great start, Sam, and really starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Ove Trengerade. As I say that, Trengerade gets a nice run there into Murray's. And that's where we're going to see a lot of fighting today down at Murray's. That last turn so important here to get to that start-finish line. You got a little bit of time to get up there and a good passing opportunity possibly on the last lap to win this thing.
Behind this 3-car train, Tapani's all alone on his own in 4th place, but 5th is quite close with William Wright holding on ahead of Philip Spencer right now. And if these two begin battling at all... Oh, there's a crash behind them. I was about to say Benjamin Zoko, and that was Uwe Jacobson he collided with.
Yeah, and you know what? I wonder if Jacobson slowed up a little bit more there than Ben thought. That's what it looks like. Ben just got a little bit better run there out of the turn, out of Wilson there. And he just gets right into the back of him. It's going to be good damage, a lot of it there on the front end for, not for Snelson, but for Mick Claridge.
Well, let's see who's able to recover with that damage and who has to make a pit stop this time around. This is obviously good news for drivers such as Neil Kemp, who have their work. The driver such as Neil Kemp, who has his work cut out for him after that jump start violation. But it looks like everyone, as I say, that Jacobson comes in. Everyone else, so keeping it out on track, so managing the damage in these early laps.
Claridge getting a run on trend grade now for position. Claridge trying to take that second spot. They're heading down the Bentley straight into Brundle. They go side by side. Claridge going to get the pass made out of Nelson. He has it. Trend grade dropped to third.
You already see the significant gap in just last lap or so that Dudignon had built up over them. But I wonder how much this is going to stop. Dudignon was in a power slide all the way through that right-hander. I wonder how much this is going to concern Dudignon, knowing that the points leader has now worked his way up into second and might try running him down.
Boy, if I'm Dudignon right now, I'm not even looking in my mirror. I'm just driving. There's nothing in front of me. I just got to keep the car in the gray and keep digging here, and hopefully Richard Morin with a problem here on track. What happened here? Let's take a look.
Well, he had a good race going. He'd been running in 7th place. I think he just lost the connection. And that's a shame, because it was going to be a good day for him in the terms of iRacing's official system, because he had the number 15 car, the highest, and then you see him disappear. The highest number in the field, was going to be able to pick up some good I-rating points today, I suppose, running out Ben 7th. Not that way, though. Philip Spence in trouble. Oh, I think he may have had an off-course coming out of the chicane. Doesn't look like it cost him too much time.
Yeah, he's able to keep it running. He's still... a good 3 seconds behind Billy Bob right now, so he's digging pretty good. We do have a replay of it here. Let's look what happened to Philip.
Maybe he was on the attack there, Sean.
Yeah, and it looked like he cooked him maybe a little bit, just overdrove that turn just a bit in an effort to try and get around the outside, and it cost him, obviously. Again, now now drop it even further, almost 3.5 seconds behind Billy Bob now. So still trying to get his rhythm back here. Early days, though, in this race. Still a long way to go.
And the new drive in 7th place, Bruce Nelson, just took it from Hideki Koivisto. Remember, these positions all got changed up a couple of laps ago with the collision that we saw. Snelson's worked his way back up to 7th. Koivisto in 8th. But how much longer will he be able to hold on to that critical last point? Because Andres Bruno and Benjamin Zocco aren't too far behind.
Billy Bob Wright is making a run at Tabani Littlewood. Littlewood right now into Murray's. It's a really nice clean exit there. Billy Bob dead in his tracks. Billy Bob going to get a nice draft here up the straight. Might try to make a move on him here into Riches. No, Billy Bob gets on the brakes a little bit earlier. Just keeping the car clean right now. It's still here, not even halfway. Billy Bob trying not to push too hard. And then Wilson by this switch back here. A real killer on the wrists, the forearms, trying to keep that Lotus 49 on track. This car is an absolute workout with that force feedback on your wheel, just fighting back at you, Sam.
And already this is going on about 6 seconds behind our lead pack of 3 cars. Mick Claridge in second did run our race leader, Dudignon, down by 0.3 of a second last lap around. So we'll wait and see what becomes of that. Meanwhile, Bruce Nelson is off. He'd been running up in 7th place. Now he's going to lose a few positions. Very tricky turn to get right, this one, Sean.
Yeah, it really is. I certainly struggled with it quite a bit during practice, and just only really figured it out a couple times there. But Bruce gets her back out on track clean without any trouble there, and well, that's the best you can hope for.
So we did get confirmation that Richard Morin did lose the internet connection. He came back into the server, realised everyone else was having an incident-free race thus far, and has disconnected from the race. Neil Kemp update is in 13th as we see Andreas Bruno here dropping out of the points.
Yeah, remember that 8th spot. It only pays back to 8th on the points, so really, really important there. Bruno going to have to fight hard to get it back from Ben Zocco for sure. Bruno steadily losing ground here to Zocco, who seems to have found his mojo after that early incident. Oh, and Don Good off the course. He was hanging around there at the back, and he looks like he might have cooked it going down into Brundle here. Easy place to get turned around. The momentum of the car and the rear end wants to come around, and a little overcorrection there, and that gets poor Don off the track. No contact with anything. He's free to pass.
Yeah, and then right after that happened, Randy Hugh, who had been running in front of him, had a spin of his own and actually allowed Don Good to gain a position in all of that. Neil Kemp also moved up.
We missed it. Trengrade gets around Claridge. Ove fighting back here, guys.
That's not going to help him run down Dudagnon.
I think Claridge made a mistake here. Well, we've got it on the replay.
It's only lap 9 of 28. So if these two start working together and don't make mistakes, they might be able to run the leader back down again. Oh, late on the brakes in the corner again.
Yeah, and honestly, it looked like Claridge was checking up there on Dudagnon, and that got him off the track and for a spin.
Battle for 7th, Corvisto under heavy pressure from Benjamin Zocco, and he's just going to let them by as they go into the first corner.
Boy, that really spread things out just a bit. Dudagnon able to get away by almost a second now. Trengrade trying to pick it up, and Mick Claridge, boy, falling back a full second, just a little bit more. Struggling with the car now, going to take him a lap or two to get back in his rhythm after that bit of a slowdown for him.
So let's give you a race rundown here. You see the timing at the top of your screen, but right now it's Michel Dudagnon. His lead cut a little bit. That lap over Trengrade brings it down to only 9/10 of a second. Claridge in third, rounding out that pack. 8 seconds behind them is that battle we've seen going on, although not much of a battle, but they're close enough for there to be one, is Tapani, Lino Luuto, and Billy Bob. Philip Spence in 6th, Benjamin Zocco in 7th, and behind that is where it gets a bit dicey, Sean.
Yeah, gets a bit dicey indeed. Looking at Zocco here on screen right now. Obviously up to 7th. A decent run, but probably looking for more here. You've got to hold on to 7th to stay in the points. Philip Spencer has gotten away. And right now it's going to be all about just consistency, keeping the car in the gray and getting to the checkered flag and minimalizing the damage caused by a less than stellar qualifying effort for Zocco today.
Snelson is off, and we'll get a replay on that. I'll also tell you Don Good had an off earlier this lap, which allowed Neil Kemp to move up another position. I'll tell you, with over half this race left, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Kemp battling for those tail end points positions by the end of this thing. So once again, you see Nelson making a mistake we've already seen made so many times today.
Yeah, and Nelson is eating these drivers up. And easy for me to say, I don't have to be out there driving it with him, but that 90-degree right-hander right there, getting slowed down for that and getting that turn made perfectly, so tough to not overshoot that turn, and that's what's happening. Guys keep cooking it into that and running off into the grass. Fortunately, there's plenty of runoff there to deal with it and save the car.
If your name ends with Snelson, you better watch out for Nelson. And right now, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Nope, I was right there with you, man. You beat me to that one. Okay, trend grade starting to make up a little bit of ground here now on Dugnan. Got it to under a second. That lap was just a tick slower, under a hundredth of a second there. And so Ove in his wake down the Bentley straight. But Dugnan on the power is so much better. Boy, able to keep it tucked there against the markers there into Nelson. And then, like I talked about earlier, Sam, it's just this whole trip.
Oh! Saves
and I was just the grip, trying to hang onto the car, and throttle management through there. And Ove just gets it all kinds of squirrely. Let's look at it on the replay, Sam.
All right, let's count how many times he crashes here.
Watch the hands. Watch the hands.
It's between 2 and 3 there, Sean.
Wow. Nice save by Ove, though, and still hangs on to second. Claridge not able to make up any ground. Boy, Claridge got rattled and just has not recovered from it, man. 3 seconds behind Dugnan now.
Yeah, gotta start wondering how much tyre wear could possibly be playing a factor into this, Sean. I can't imagine with the cool conditions and the lack of turns on this circuit, that would be a huge concern. But your car at the end of a race is not going to behave like the car at the start.
Yeah, well, unless, of course, Mick's been cooking those just a bit. This battle on screen, though, Tapani Littlewoto, Billy Bob Wright is there. He's made it to the rear door. Can he open it and get through? I don't know, folks. Right now, Tapani just hanging on. Going to be a good day in the Constructors' Cup if Dugnan can continue to do what he's doing. France needing a big race, and Dugnan leading the way with the battle here. Billy Bob, you're on board with him, looking forward here at Littlewoto. Got nothing for him yet. This one may come down to the very last lap, Sam. Looks like Billy Bob being very, very calculated here and trying to just look for the best opportunity to get around Littlewoto where he can make it stick and not have to worry about fighting him anymore.
Could also come down to lap traffic, which will soon become a factor. Dugnan catching our driver running in 13th place right now, Randy Hugh. The only driver running right now not on the lead lap is Zue Jacobson, who lost 2 laps from the crash earlier. Richard Morin, of course, out of the race after connection troubles earlier on. The battle for 8th has calmed down a bit. The way that resolved is with Corvisto in 8th, Bruno in 9th.
Sam, Billy Bob coming up along Littlewoto now, heading down into Riches. Trying to take him from the outside here. Billy Bob being really bold. Who's going to get on the brakes first? It looks like it was Billy Bob. Maybe try the crossover here. Not going to work. Littlewoto gets a nice exit out of Riches. Billy Bob thinks about it. Yeah, Billy Bob's still trying to cross him over. Ooh, nice run out of Wilson.
Think he's got the desired line off, but they'll have local yellows because Chandray spun in front of him and dropped to 3rd.
Ove with trouble back there. We'll get to it here in just a moment. Ooh, those two almost make contact. They get away out of Murray's. Littlewoto going to hang on to 4th. Billy Bob's still there in his wake. Let's go to the replay on trend grade real quick, Sam.
Littlewoto overshoots the last turn. William Wright takes in Murray's replay.
Okay, we're going to go to the Tapani Littlewoto replay here first. Catch that. Tapani gets passed by Billy Bob Wright. It is a mistake. Littlewoto with a rough exit there. And Billy Bob Wright going to get by.
And you see why Bob had to make such quick work about it, because Philip Spencer is now starting to run them down. Now, let's see if we have what happened to Trantre here at the end of the back straight.
Yeah, Ove just cooking it through there and lost control of the car. Again, lots of runoff there. Able to reel it back in and get it back on track clean. Sam, you know what I just noticed? Tapani Littlewoto carrying a little tribute there to Dan Gurney on the car. He's got Dan Gurney on the other side of that thing.
Dan Gurney definitely did a lot for motor racing, actually. Is he running that Eagle paint scheme?
He is, yes. Boy, and Philip Spencer come into the picture now, back there in 6th. He's part of this 3-car battle right now for 4th place. Spencer having a good drive, recovering after losing a spot on the start.
4th, 5th, and 6th, nose to tail. Billy Bob being followed by Tapani, being followed by Philip Spencer. Right now, they're all holding station. They can afford to battle each other. They got 14 seconds over our 7th place driver, Benjamin Zoko.
And the report from up front is Dugnan getting by Don Good. Has cleared him. Dugnan now got about a 4-second advantage on Mick Claridge back there in 2nd.
Yeah, I wonder if Claridge half anticipated what happened to Trantre. I've been watching him for a couple laps. He'd really been sliding the car around. I wonder if Claridge has accepted that Dudagnon's going to win this race, and maybe was even backing off Trantre a little bit, thinking this guy's going to spin out. Meanwhile, talking about spinning out, one way you can do that is to go on the grass. That's what Billy Bob did there. Holds onto it, but allows his competition behind closing.
Yeah, and Tapani had gotten actually a really good run there into Wilson. Does not have a good exit out of Wilson. It allows Billy Bob to pull away just a bit. Tapani going to be on the brakes a little bit later there down into Brundle. And he's getting a strong run at a Nelson right there behind Billy Bob, right in track with the exhaust. Can't forget about Philip Spencer, though. Spencer still having a really good solid run back there. Spencer looks focused. And he's enjoying that popcorn position right now. Well, with only 9 laps to go here when they come across the stripe, making the run down the center straight up to the start-finish line.
Yeah, things have been changing around for 8th place too. Last time we checked back there, Visto was running there. Well, something must have happened to him because he's back in 10th now. Snelson just took 8th place this lap from Andres Bruno with less than 10 laps to go. Wouldn't be surprised if that heats up again.
Yeah, you know what? Bruno is had a strong race. He's up 4 spots, even still losing that to Snelson. But the 8th spot, so important in this championship. Snelson in this championship, fighting for it, certainly would do well to stay ahead here of Bruno, keep him in the mirror right now. That's all he's got to look forward to, because Zoko a full 12 plus seconds up in front of him. Snelson really struggled there out of the turn. Allows Bruno to stay close. Again, Bruno's picked up 4. He'd like to pick up 5, get into that points position if he can.
Yeah, we're watching that battle from our booth, from the broadcast angle here, keeping an eye on this battle from 4th to 6th, because this is definitely a bit closer right now for more valuable points. Right now, though, continue the hold station. We're right ahead of Line Luto and then ahead of Spencer.
Yeah, something's got to happen here. And boy, Line Luto really getting that car squiggly.
He ran wide at Nelson, wiggles back on the circuit, holds onto the position ahead of Trantere.
Starting to beat these tires up just a bit, Sam. And what does that mean? Well, that means you're starting to lose grip a little bit here into the late laps of this race. And You know, a Claridge having a problem a lot of drivers have already had, and that's just overdriving that corner, getting in too hot. Saves it in the runoff, but loses a lot of time.
So let's go back to the battle for fourth, but we'll keep an eye on this battle for second too, because boy, Trandre smells blood now.
Yes, he does. Mick better. Trouble for Bruno.
Yeah, that's is that Nelson again?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, he had just lost that final points position, and I guess running in ninth, he was trying to run hard to see if he could get it back. That's not the right way to go, though.
Yeah,
like I said, that's the one wall you've got to watch out for around here, Sean.
It is, Sam, and boy, he sure found it. Koivisto right now trying to hang on to ninth place. Neil Kemp fighting back here, Sam.
Yeah, but what about the battle for second? We just got a glimpse of on screen as well. Trandre all over the back of Claridge.
Boy, Mick's got to really have to drive the wheels off of this one for the last 6 laps if he wants to hold on to that second spot. So important here in the championship. Claridge's got a nice advantage, but it's not, well, with still 5 rounds to go, it's not a secure advantage. He's not run away with this thing. Dugnan, his competitor, in the lead by a bunch. Now gone to 10 seconds. Dugnan's gone. He keeps it on the track. He's got this win. Keep it on track, keep it clean. The fight here for Claridge. Boy, I'll tell you what, he's got a pretty tough customer over his shoulder right now. Ove looking to take this away.
Yeah, and of course, Dugnan, with that being said about the championship there, Sean, he is Trandre's biggest fan right now. To try and stop Claridge tallying up as many points as possible.
Yeah, it looks like Ove trying to get into the mind of Mick Claridge. Really putting the pressure on. That's all Claridge can see in his mirror right now. You can't see much out of these mirrors on a Lotus 49, but he sees Ove sitting there, waiting to pounce.
5 laps left to go.
It's a good spot to try and make a move here. Ove going to take a look around the outside, maybe try and cross him over. Not able to pull it off. Get a good run down here into Brundle. Let's see what happens. I think Ove just a little bit too far back to make it happen. Like I said earlier in the pre-race, you don't get up to full speed for long there down the Bentley Straight. Find yourself having to get slowed down for Brundle and then out of Nelson.
And we saw on board there, Trandre getting all crossed up on the Exo Nelson. Fortunately, didn't cost him too much time.
It's up to Claridge to hang on to it. He has a little bit of a slip there. And
yeah, meanwhile, nothing going on for fourth place right now. They're still nose to tail, but in the same positions as when we left them. It's battle for second, though. I wouldn't be surprised if this changes any second.
And back of the field, Kemp got around Koivisto down into Riches. Pulls off a really nice pass that gets him up into ninth. We do have it on the replay.
No,
I'm sorry. That battle up front.
Up.
Flubbing up my director's directions, folks.
Yeah, but we see they go side by side. Trandre on the inside on Nelson, almost contact. Claridge able to maintain that position for now. The reason we're keeping an eye on Kempo, he is only 3 seconds now behind Snelson for 8th place in the final point.
Yeah, once Kemp got around there, he's making tracks quick here to get to Nelson as he sees the laps winding down. 3 to go when they come across the line. Boy, and Neil really on it here. Got a lot of work to do, though, to catch him. Michel Dugnan still the man to beat in this race. And I said it before, if he just keeps it on track, I think he's safe. The battle.
Yeah, the battle for fourth eating up as they come into Riches. Billy Bob. A lot of pressure from behind from Tapani.
Yeah, Tapani looked to make a move on the outside. Couldn't make it work. Seen a lot of trouble in Wilson here today. Can they get it in clean? Not as much trouble in Wilson as we've seen down in Nelson.
And more trouble in Nelson. Claridge locks up a front, holds on to it ahead of Chandray. Boy, those two are giving it all they've got in these closing 2.5 laps.
I told you this one wouldn't take long, Sam. Been a bit of a sprint. Claridge still trying to keep that car on track ahead of Ove Trengerade. Trengerade suffers just a little bit coming out of Murray. Mick pulling away up the front straight. You know Ove's going to get on him late. He breaks deep. Oh, and tries to keep the rear end under him there as he's coming through.
All right, here they come to the run down the back straight again, which will lead them to Brundle and Nelson. And I think even if it's not a passing opportunity by Trantere, this sequence of turns, which has definitely been one of the main talking points of the race, could determine who gets second based on who gets through it cleanly the last 2 laps around. This time they both do a decent job.
Claridge just really on the edge coming through there.
Fourth place is side by side going into Brundle. Billy Bob holds on to it. No! Does it get hit? Wow, Linealuto loses a position there. I think he got thrown off by how close he got to Billy Bob.
He did make contact there, and that cost Linealuto. Spencer able to get through and ahead of him there. The white flag is out, Sam. Final lap for our leader, Michel Dudignon.
Yeah, and there's going to be lots of battles to keep an eye on once Dudignon takes it.
Ove trying to take Mick Claridge on the outside. He gets the position on the inside. Down the Bentley straight. Claridge, a defensive move across the front. Ove trying to beat him.
Yeah, let's see. They're coming through Brundle. We got enough time here. Dudignon working his way just through the final turn now. And it looks like it's going to be Claridge coming out on top in about a second. Here comes Dudignon. He'll have enough time to take a checkered flag, celebrate with some champagne, and watch a battle for second across the line about 15 seconds behind him. Dudignon wins. Claridge should get second, but Chandray throws it in and loops it. He's got 12 seconds ahead of a battle for fourth. And there's a new driver in fifth. The Claridge gets third. Look at this, Sean, though. Billy Bob will get fourth, but there's a change for fifth.
And Spencer, boy, what a hard fought fifth place finish for Philip Spencer. He gets it away from Tapani Linealuto, who winds up having a tough race, finds himself 2 spots back. And Tapani able to at least stay ahead of Ben Zocco, who is going to come across and finish 7th today, followed by Bruce Nelson, who had a bit of a tough race, a couple of offs, but manages to bring it home in that 8th spot.
Only just so that is Kemp right behind him, and Kemp would be alongside battling him, but with 2 laps left to go, he had a really big slide, and I think that cost him any opportunity he really had of challenging Nelson for that final point on the final lap.
Wow, that was fun, Sam.
Absolutely it was, and we're going to take a quick break, come back with a full race rundown and drive interviews. Don't go away.
They say it's always darkest before the dawn, and in the world of motorsports, those words ring especially true. As is tradition, Daytona greets us as we emerge from our winter hibernation. But this year, we awaken 30 years in the past. This time we celebrate a bygone era as drivers take to the unrefined beasts that are the Audi Quattro and Nissan GTP. A new season is about to dawn. The darkness about to fade. The Major Series and Late Apex Apparel proudly bring you the 2018 Classic Daytona 2.4. An endurance race from the ages, for the ages. Coming to you live, iRacing Live, on February 4th, 2018.
Hello and welcome back to Snetterton Circuit, where we just witnessed 28 laps of racing action here between 15 cars, and boy, on the final lap there were still about 3 or 4 battles unresolved, but they did get resolved eventually. The checkered flag tells all, Sean, and what it told today was that Michel Dudignon smoked them.
Yes, sir, he did, and boy, a great battle back there behind him. Mick Claridge will finish second. Ove Trengrade with a third place finish today. Billy Bob Wright fighting for that spot there in fourth. Philip Spencer with a great drive today will finish fifth. Tapani Littleluto, the hard luck loser today, finishes in sixth, but in the points, Ben Zoko gets himself up to seventh and will take some points home today for Australia. Ben Snelson gets that position there at the end and finishes eighth. The final points paying position, Neil Kemp ninth. Hideki Koivitso in 10th. Sam, I'll take the rest real quick. No problem. Andres Bruno there in 11th. Don, tell me something good. Picks up 3 and finishes 12th. Randy Ho in 13th. 14, Uwe Jacobson and Richard Morin, who had some connection problems, couldn't finish the race with us today. He'll finish 15th. And Sam, it looks like we've got a few interviews here lined up. Why don't we take Mick Claridge real quick and see how he's doing here about this second place finish today?
Yeah, Mick, congratulations on beating Ove at the end there. That was fun to watch.
Mick, have you got us, buddy? All right, Sam, it looks like Mick has got to get his mic squared away here real quick. Mick, are you there, bud? All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't we talk to Billy Bob right real quick, Sam? We'll bring him down. Billy Bob, can you hear us? Okay, Sam, we're 0 for 2 on interviews so far. We'll give Billy Bob just a second here. Maybe he can get his mic situated. And maybe not. So there he is. I see him chiming in. Billy Bob, are you there?
Yeah, give me just a second.
The wonders of technology, Sam.
Okay, are we good? Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, we're good. We can hear you, Billy Bob. Hey, boy, what a battle you had on track here at the Snetterton 200 today.
Hey, man, that was a lot of fun, and I didn't even know until after the event that I was racing a pro there. I got to say, that felt good after the race, and I think we both had a good, solid race. Didn't do anything silly. He made one mistake, and that's the only way I got by him. And then, as you saw, I defended pretty hard there at the end. But hey, it was a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. And boy, I'll tell you what, you are one of the faithful here in the Lotus 49 World Cup. You're here just about every weekend here on the East Coast. And what does that mean? Well, it means an early start, and a much earlier start than a lot of your competitors. That in itself presents quite a challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with that, my friend. Yeah, I got up and jumped into a practice session because I saw Michelle and Mick in there real quick before I actually got a cup of coffee, and that didn't work out too good, as you saw. But it all came together later after some Java, and I got to thank Philip and Tapani both for being good to me because they both showed better pace than me. But I got a good start, and then Tapani made that mistake, so. A lot of fun. It was a soaker for sure, guys. I talk about that, man. And this one, I forgot to turn the fan on, and I'm soaked. That was lots of pressure.
Oh, you get a chance to go jump in the pool now and rinse off. Right?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Hey, so apparently Dunyan had a much better race today, this morning, than he maybe did a couple days ago.
Yeah. I knew you were going to bring that up. I wish somebody had the replay on that because I'd love to go see it. I mean, I remember apologizing and then afterwards thinking, what was I apologizing for?
Yeah, apparently Michelle was not quite himself or something of that nature. So anyway, but yeah, Billy Bob, hey, congratulations. Great win. We're going to try and catch up with one of these other guys here and see if they got their mic situation taken care of.
All right, guys. Always a pleasure. Lots of fun today and looking forward to next week. See you then.
All right. And Sam, now we're going to try and bring in Tapani Littleluoto here and see if he is ready. Tapani, do you have got this?
Hello.
All right, Sam, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, Tapani had a great three-way battle for fourth place going on there in the closing laps. Unfortunately, you were the one who came out on the short side of that.
Yeah, well, I was happy to be there in the top 5, battling for the top 5. So it was my first Lotus 49 race for many years, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
How much did the car and the tires change during the course of a race? Because even though it was quite a short race and cool conditions out there, it seemed like there was a lot of sliding going on in those closing laps.
Well, not that much, but I think I had my brake bias little bit too rearward, so I had a little bit of trouble when William got past me. So, well, it was quite a learning experience, to be sure.
Yeah, because another thing is this Snetterton circuit is still relatively new to iRacing. How do you feel that this car races on this track, and what are your thoughts about this circuit?
Well, I think it's a good match with this car. Maybe not with all cars, but I kind of like it. Maybe the 300 configuration would be maybe better. I don't know. But no complaints about this.
Yeah, you definitely put on a great race from where we were sitting with you, William Wright, and Philip Spencer all battling for those 3 positions. Now, next week we're going to Zandvoort. Do you think that's a place where you can have them in your mirrors at the end of the race?
Well, it would be very nice, but let's see if I can participate next week.
All right, we understand everyone has other commitments going on, but we appreciate you coming out here today to Palmy, putting on a great show for us. Hopefully we'll see you back and we'll see you on the podium again before too long.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Sam, we're going to give Mick Claridge one more chance here. Mick, have you got me?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, that's beautiful.
Oh, hi, guys.
Well, Mick, it slipped away from you, man. Is this championship slipping away from you? Come on, what's going on?
Yeah, it's gone, man. It's gone. No, it's I was so annoyed. I used qualifying tire pressures there. I didn't realize I didn't change them, and yeah, I just lost all the grip about sort of 5 laps in. Then made a mistake, and then I just thought I'd slip off the track again and have some TV time with Uwe, you know, for the end.
Yeah, you know what? Once you abuse these tires a little bit, it does take a little bit to get them to recover, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you I mean, you just got no grip when they're too high, you know. I mean, I was running them. I got 20.5 on the right right front and 20 on the left front, and so yeah, it was a lost cause, really.
So, what's the biggest challenge of this 200 circuit? I mean, I'm challenged by several turns. Wilson, Brundle, and Nelson. Murray's just absolutely kills me.
That's all of them.
Yeah, it is all of them, isn't Sam? What is the real challenge here for you and a lot of the drivers?
Well, forgive me because I've got no idea what the corners are called. I know the signs are right there in front of me when I'm going past them, but the left turn off that back straight, when you're slowing down and turning into that, it's just a nightmare. And if you leave it just a little tiny bit late, you're off. You know, there's just not, you know, and if you just mess it up a little bit, your left rear goes on the grass on the other side of the right hander there, and it's just super tough. The corner after that is really hard as well because it's blind. So, I mean, I don't think I hit the apex once in that race, but yeah, it's quite a tough track.
It is, and considering that it is, well, it's tiny compared to a lot of the courses we run on. Sometimes big things come in small packages, and this circuit definitely a lot of fun. What do you prefer now that you've had a chance to run both the 300 and the 200? Which one do you favor?
I think we actually ran this one last season when we ran it before. I don't think we've run the big layout. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we ran the same layout.
You did, and I'm mixing my series up. Sorry there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we've got. I think we did a load of 79 guys on the 300 circuit, but you guys are back on the 200 circuit. Second season in a row here.
I mean, when the track was released, I tested it out on the main, you know, the big layout, and I must admit I didn't really like it. It was just, you know, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. It was, you know, it was just a mess for me. I must admit I didn't really give it that much time because it wasn't long after that I realised we wasn't using that layout. But so yeah, not really a fan, to be honest with you, of the big layout. But no, I like this layout. It's quite good, and you get up to some serious speed on this layout as well. You know, I mean the top speeds are higher than last week in Zolder.
Yeah, I listen. I'll admit it takes a little bit of work to figure this track out, but it is wicked fun when you find yourself getting up to speed and starting to figure it out just a little bit. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But as usual, Mick, hey buddy, thanks a lot for your visit, and I don't know if you're a fan of the show, the Grand Tour, but let's just say they had a couple of interesting guests this week that you could probably relate to. You might want to go check that out.
Right. Okay. I didn't know. Yeah, I can have a look.
All right, buddy. We'll see you next week, and thanks again for the visit.
Thanks, Sean. See you guys.
All right, and that is Mick Claridge, still your points leader and our second place finisher today. Sam, always a lot of fun working with you, buddy. We appreciate you coming in and covering for our good buddy Joe Peak, who is on assignment in Daytona for the Rolex 24 right now.
On assignment, really?
Well,
that's what we're calling it. All right.
We'll call it on assignment. Yeah.
Probably the biggest party you'll ever have on assignment down there in Daytona Beach, January. We're all definitely looking forward to seeing how the Rolex 24 goes down. And we hope Joe has a great time down there. We're glad you all had a great time tuning in for this race. Boy, that was some great racing we saw here on the Snetterton circuit. Always brings back memories for me watching cars go off at Brundle and Nelson, because you can bet when my dad ever brought me here to watch some track days, that's where we sat, because we knew that's where cars were going to bugger it up. It's always a bit of fun, but and it created some fun and some action out there today. So thank you all for coming to watch this broadcast, and we hope you tune in for the last 5 remaining races of the season, because we're definitely going to see some more great racing here on the Global Sim Racing channel. And there are some people we cannot do it without. And so we're going to thank those people right now: Jack Olstead, Ben Zoko, all the competitors and the organisers in the Lotus 49 World Cup for coming here today and putting on a fantastic show. Additional thanks also the companies. They provide us software and hardware for our broadcasts. We've got them all listed there on our screen, so be sure to check them out. Additional thanks also Recetcom, Casey Lalonde. They provide us with our music that you hear during our broadcasts. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of their great work. Thanks to the team today: Sean, Armjed, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. Also on social media, we're on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. The Lotus 49 World Cup will be back in action next Saturday, same time, same place, 8:45 a.m. here, Eastern Time on the GSRC. All of the upcoming races for our other series are listed on your screen, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar and don't miss another second of exciting racing action. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.